There's this luxurious bathtub where I'm staying, and I thought since I'm leaving the day after tomorrow, it would be nice to have a good soak and a good read. Well, turns out the soak was extra wonderful, so the reading happened later on. I'm reading from Let the World Speak for Itself, which is chapter 4 of the book Start Where You Are. And this talks about the slogan, in post meditation, be a child of illusion, which is basically when you're not practicing meditation, then think of everything as not so solid. The author did say that it was hard to define. I found at the very end of this chapter there was a wonderful example of how to embody this view. That's it, it's a view. Basically, it's an encouragement to be engaged in the world with wonder and curiosity, with 100% of your presence, and also to take these slogans and find out for ourselves what they mean, not to use them as statement of fact, rather to see them as challenges to discover, like a lens or a direction. Then you can be curious about your life and curious about life in general, and then live through life lightly. Okay, so I'm going to read the last part where they talk about this Native American man called Ishi, and he basically had been in hiding because his whole tribe had been killed and he's the only one left. So he's lived alone and suddenly just appeared in Oroville, California one fine morning. They quickly put some clothes on him and put him in jail until the Bureau of Indian Affairs told them what to do with him. It was front page news in the San Francisco newspapers, where an anthropologist named Alfred Kroeber read the story. Here was an anthropologist's dream come true. This native person had been living in the wilds all his life and could reveal his tribe's way of life. Ishi was brought on the train down to San Francisco into a totally unknown world where he lived pretty happily, it appears, for the rest of his life. Ishi seemed to be fully awake. He was completely at home with himself and the world, even when it changed so dramatically almost overnight. I'm skipping that paragraph, and the final paragraph says, when Ishi was first taken to San Francisco, he went to the Oroville train station and stood on the platform. When the train came in, without anyone really noticing, he simply walked away very quietly and stood behind a pillar. Then the others noticed and beckoned to him, and they all got on the train to San Francisco. Later, Ishi told Kroeber that for his whole life, when he and the other members of his tribe had seen that train, they had thought it was a demon that ate people because of how it snaked along and bellowed smoke and fire. When Kroeber heard that, he was awestruck. He asked, "How did you have the courage to just get on the train if you thought it was a demon?" Then Ishi said, quite simply, "Well, my life has taught me to be more curious than afraid." His life had taught him what it meant to be a child of illusion.